get this close.
Yeah.
I think it's more than house money because you might only get the opportunity with this group one time.
Well, we're in Atlantic City, and sometimes the house usually wins. So if you're playing with house money, you have to make sure you don't give it back to the house if you're the Stags of Fairfield being the undefeated team here tonight.
Fairfield wearing the black, Siena in the white. We are underway on semifinal Sunday. Merrimack awaits the winner. A thriller against Marist that came down to the wire earlier tonight. On the drive, there is that man, Brandon Benjamin, to the cup for two.
You're going to see a lot of that because if Mulvey is going to guard him, Benjamin, with his ability to put the ball on the deck, he can take him off the dribble no matter the height disadvantage that he's facing on the defensive end from Siena.
Now a touch for Coyle. What an X factor he can be a day after knocking down 5 triples.
He is so good when they run him off those baseline screens because he hugs the guy screening so well that the defensive guy can't find that space to try to get over that screen and take that shot attempt away.
Shooting just 30% from beyond the arc this season. He's got the ability to get hot as Siena earns possession off that scramble. There is Chris Casey, 2 20-win seasons in his 3 years as Fairfield's head coach, trying to get him back to the final since he did it in his inaugural campaign 2 years ago.
Well, I don't know who's going to have more energy in the sidelines, him or the guy on the other side, Jerry McNamara. Both of those guys, former ball players, love this time of year in the competition factor.
Full effect going at Rollins. The cutter is Coyle. He's got all 5 for the Saints.
He did such a great job just waiting and waiting in full effect. His ability to put the ball on the floor, the freshman, never seems to be out of sorts with the dribble and perfect patience to wait for the finish.
Williams the crossover, trying to probe into the paint. Draws a double team, and the loose ball is picked up by Wooker Fennig. Sparks, one of the best scorers in the MAC, comes up short, but Fairfield so good on the offensive glass.
You have to be able to block them out. Even if you don't know where the ball is, you got to realize the ball's going, you got to block those guys off the boards.
Mulvey rebounds the Benjamin miss. Shoats wants to run. Doesn't have numbers. Shoats shovels it, full effect, the finish at the rim.
Those paint touches right now are killing the Fairfield defense because the guards and even the big man inside full effect been able to use the bounce to get into the paint, and then everybody making the proper cuts to get open.
Williams launches, too strong. Out of bounds to the Saints. They've scored 7 straight.
You see Jerry McNamara, a man who knows a little something about playoff basketball and championship basketball. His freshman year leading Syracuse with that team with him and Carmelo Anthony in the national championship. He's been waiting for an opportunity like this because he believes his team has the stones to pull it off and win the MAC title.
In year number 2. Fall effect from the outside. It is short. Battle for the rebound. Look at the effort by Siena. Fall effect trying to take advantage of the mismatch against Williams, and the pass was late. Benjamin runs the floor. Fall effect rebounds.
How about that terrific job on defense, getting back when it comes to Ryan Mulvey. Did a fantastic job not giving up on that play.
Shoats fading away, tough look. Wooker Fennig digs it up. Here is Williams on the move. Into the body of Mulvey and finishing through contact.
He's so used to doing that because of your brother Williams. You know that if you can close down the cushion of a big man this way, he can't extend his arms and block the shot. You turn the disadvantage with the height into an advantage with the dribble and getting to the person on the defensive side.
The transition bucket ends the 7-0 Siena run. Doty turns it over. Kick ahead Sparks, who tracks it down. Rollins is open. Too strong from deep. Benjamin, another offensive rebound. He averages better than 4 per. Wooker Fennig out-muscles Mulvey. Williams crosses over, attacks the mismatch. Another offensive rebound on this possession, and Rollins, the freshman, puts it home.
When you're not putting a body on people, you allow the air to block them out. Air never wins that battle. Really good job eating a lot of glass in the offensive boards early on by the Fairfield Stags.
Couple buckets in a row for Fairfield to cut the deficit to 1. Doty scoreless. Coyle has 5 of the 7. 3 to shoot. Doty lets it fly. 4-3.
It must be wonderful to have a confident stroke, shot clock running down. He never got out of sorts. He never was impatient. Just got to the spot where he knew he could rise up and fire and make it go down the rope.
Into Benjamin. Pivots off glass. What a veteran move by the Rook.
Yeah, he just has exquisite footwork, reminiscent of Hakeem Olajuwon in the NBA. The ability to go over either shoulder and just perfect footwork to know exactly where he needs to be and how he can get a shot up to get it to go down.
It is a lead for Fairfield. Beg your pardon, Siena by 2. Shoats on the baseline, no. Benjamin spins, another pivot, throws that one up wildly. Kick ahead, Doty. The spin, Doty regains his balance. Oh, the circus shot goes, and a chance at 3.
Doty, they don't give you extra style points, but plenty of style playing through that contact to the finish.
Gavin Doty has a chance at a 3-point play when we return to Atlantic City.
Some people train for marathons. I train for this. I use my Shields Visa to book travel, hotel stays, and even my signature summer style. Each swipe earns points towards My Rewards gift cards to spend on everything you need to get away.
Like sunscreen?
Why, yes. Like sunscreen. Shields Visa. Get the card that gets you.
American Idol can change my life, and I'm ready for it.
I love singing. I love getting on the stage.
The excitement. I love the pressure of it.
We're making dreams come true.
Thank you.
American Idol, new Monday on ABC.
Hockey is here. The Spinoramas, here. Intensity being high, here. The final playoff push and the Stanley Cup final. Oh, it's here, baby, on ESPN.
We've done it, Mabel. We put this into this.
When you connect your inner animal, there's only one thing to do.
We party.
Rock a showstopper, blow pop a head knocker.
How did he get a little crown?
That's your question?
From Disney and Pixar, it's time to answer the call of the wild.
Let's look at our keys to the game.
Well, if you're Fairfield, you got to knock down anywhere between 40 to 45% from the three-point line. They normally make 33.6%. They have to up that because Siena wants to take away the inside game. And if you're Fairfield, anytime you can push the pace, you know Siena's not going to play a lot of people. If you can try to wear them down, that can pay a dividend later on. And if you're Siena, so far you have not done this. Take away Brandon Benjamin inside. He has been able to live in exactly where he wants to be in the paint. And you got to own the boardroom. You got to be the president. You got to be the CEO. You can't be an underling. You got to have a better job of doing the job on the boards. We have not seen that early on, especially with the offensive rebounding prowess of Fairfield against the Saints.
Gavin Doty at the free throw line, a sophomore guard for Jerry McNamara from the small town of Fulton, New York. You will see throughout tonight the way that Doty plays, his relentlessness, his intensity. He said, it's the way that I was raised from a small town, the only Division I player from Fulton, New York, and just the belief that he's got to outwork everybody, play harder to get what he wants. And he summed it up by saying, I love winning, I hate losing.
Yes, and believe me, when you're a first-team all-unanimous, first-team all-MAC selection, coaches recognize exactly what Doty brings to the table every 40 minutes for Siena.
First bucket for Sparks. Leading scorer on the team, better than 17 per.
He got off to a slow start in the game against St. Peter's, but everybody else able to step up. I think they can ill afford to have that happen tonight. He's got to get going early. He is their best offensive player.
17 against Manhattan in the first round. Held to single digits with just 9 in the upset win over St. Peter's. Falafak spins into the body of Benjamin, who keeps his arms straight up. Sparks pull up pop. 5 straight.
And that's exactly what you want to see if you're Chris Casey, your leader on the basketball court, showing off, making the kind of deep shots that you wanted him to make that we didn't see in that quarterfinal matchup, and we've seen it early here in the semifinals of the MAC tournament.
Tied at 13, 7 in. Mulvey is out of the game on the Siena side for freshman Isaiah Henderson. Falafak fakes the pass. Off the back of the rim, battle for the rebounds. Falafak tracks it down. Here is Henderson. One of 2 we expect to play off the bench, both freshmen. Coyle might have slid.
Not might have.
It's not a travel unless it's called.
That's true. And then that mistake by the referees by not calling it results in another 3 from the bottom line when it comes to Gavin Doty.
Doty knocking down a couple of threes throughout this season. Jerry McNamara, his head coach, a very good three-point shooter in his playing days, has wanted to see Doty take more. Rollins, no. Doty got hip checked. Trying to shake off the pain as he grabs the defensive board.
Well, that was very selfish by Jerry McNamara. I said, I need Gavin Doty to do more. Doesn't he do enough for your basketball team?
Falafak to the rim, shoot more threes.
Okay, either way. I think he
That's
does
right,
enough.
it is by definition doing more.
Right.
Yeah.
He averaged over 17 and a half a game. I think he's fine.
High standards.
And you don't mind that because I guarantee you, as we see that foul being called against Fairfield, he wants to have those high kind of standards for himself. And the fact that his coach wants that only is going to benefit Gavin Doty, especially you get a little 9-line look here from the baseline. Great start by him.
Some make it their main career. Some give a weekend a month. All we need are the moments. In the Air Force, how you serve is more important than how much you serve. You always get more out than what you put in. Full-time, part-time, in or out of uniform. How many moments can you give?
Picture the university you've been dreaming of. It feels personal. Professors who know your potential and help you reach it. It feels exciting. Opportunities that start right away. It feels inspiring. Friends who challenge you and become family. It feels like purpose, learning to lead with skill and heart. And it feels possible with scholarships that recognize your achievements and open the door to it all. This is where Saints rise. This is Siena University.
The 2026 MAC Men's Basketball Championship is presented by the Air Force Reserve. Stay local, serve global, and the Air Force Reserve. Visit airforce.com. And Bally's Atlantic City, the official fan hotel of the MAC.
Welcome back to Jim Whalen Boardwalk Hall. Great conversation with Fairfield coach, head coach Casey. We talked about guys reevaluating what a good game is. At the college level, some of the things you did in high school, you won't be able to do. For us to win, you need to take a strong look at what you did well and how we look at it. Kind of like what I need to do to work with you, Dave. Back to you, fellas.
It's very rare that Smooth gets tongue-tied, and he couldn't remember the head coach's first name, which happens to be the same as his.
Yeah, but he did remember to take a shot at you on the way out, not remembering that Chris Casey and Chris Williams are one and the same.
That was a preemptive strike, and that was smart by Smooth.
Sometimes you got to get them before they get you, which we've seen from Siena so far sharing the basketball. They made 6 shots. All 6 of those shots have been assisted on by the Saints.
40 years in coaching for Chris Casey. 3rd different MAC school. Firing away is Henderson, getting a lift from the freshman off the bench.
Ryan Mulvey won't get an assist, but he should, because his screen on the baseline was able to allow Henderson to get into that shooting pocket and knock it down. Mulvey is such a good screener for the offense of Siena.
Six straight for Siena to take its largest lead of the early stages. Sparks into the paint. Lost the angle underneath. Kick ahead, Shoats.
Really good defense by Gavin Doty. Got beat on the play, but was able to use his length and get a piece of the basketball to keep that deuce from happening.
Mulvey back on the floor. His bounce pass intercepted. Deuce Turner into the game for Fairfield. A long 2 is off the mark. Another rebound for Benjamin. Mulvey's effort gets it back for Siena.
He tried too much with the dribble, knowing that he had an advantage, able to use his skill, and when the ball got loose from him, Mulvey was quickly on it.
Shoats to the cup. Back-to-back 2nd-team All-MAC selection for the Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania native.
And justice for all the Saints, but not against the Stags. His ability to use either hand to finish at the rim is such a very component that he uses so effective for his game.
Turner gets his defender in the air.
Once again, Mulvey, so good, not only position defense, but then coming off his man to have a chance to get in. They're going to count that basket. And right now, Justice Shoats has got it working for the Siena Saints. The change of direction. He beat him with the left hand the first time, so he changed the direction. A great crossover and the ability. You have to be able to play through contact in this league. It's nice to have a guy that's built like a Rottweiler and Justice Shoats. Not a lot of contact is going to bother that young man. An All-MAC 2nd-team selection. Strong and tough with great will. And how about not only being named the team captain, started Division II in Lock Haven. That's in the conference where I played, the PSAC, the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. To make that jump, be an All-MAC player, just a sensational story led by Justice Shoats.
Chris Casey did not like that it was a shooting foul, believing that the contact did not happen prior to the termination of the dribble.
He may have had a case, but with the continuation rule being in college basketball, more often than not, it's going to benefit the offense.
Turner tries to split the defense. The handoff to Benjamin. 6 points for Benjamin to go along with 5 boards in the opening 10+.
Yeah, Deuce Turner did a really good job using his body and moving the lighter Siena defensive players into the lane. They were able to find Benjamin in deep for the finish.
Christian Jones into the game for Siena, the other freshman off the bench. This is the senior Shoats misfiring. And the Energizer Bunny, Gavin Doty, tracks down the loose ball. Skipped into the front row.
He probably thought he was throwing to Mulvey and not throwing the guy almost a foot shorter than Mulvey, because he had Christian Jones wide open. Mulvey's 7 feet. Christian Jones is 5'11". Unless he stood on the shoulders of Mulvey, there was no way he's going to bring that ball in and keep it in bounds.
Siena by 9. Turner from the outside, Cash.
They're hunting Christian Jones on the matchup. He's the smallest guy on the floor, so they had a cross match with Ruka Phoenix, so they had to double it, and they're really good relocating those snipers behind the three-point line to get open looks.
Mulvey in the post, the kick out. Henderson already with 1, and give him 2. A couple of triples off the bench for Henderson.
If you're Eric Mejia, there's no need to double in the post. Benjamin will be able to guard Mobley without any kind of problem, despite the height disparity. Stay with your man and stay attached to guys on the outside.
Walker Fennig. Now Mejia, who's been really good off the bench. Counted and one. Has given the Stags a lift here in the MAC tournament.
You always go into the body of a big man, and when you do and you can finish over height, you get what Mejia was able to do for Fairfield and having the Stags try to close this gap against Siena.
Now it's Fairfield's turn with a chance to complete a three-point play. Henderson off the bench, touching the entire circumference here at Boardwalk Hall.
All you got to do is go, what's up?
What's that?
Go practice.
Do not ask me how much longer.
How much longer, mamacita?
Bambi?
What do we do?
No more sad sack. Full-on fun sack.
That's what I'm talking about.
With the right team, there's nothing you can't do. Assemble your friends. Assemble your family. Assemble your universe.
How cool is that?
Marvel Assemble.
RJ Decker, I'm a private investigator.
I'd like to ask you a few questions about what happened yesterday.
You here to offer me another job?
Maybe we dive in together and find something that connects.
What happened to your eye?
It's complicated.
Inside the NBA has it all. The hustle, the swag, and whatever's going on here.
I don't know that man.
Home of Inside the NBA. All season, playoffs, and finals long.
Nothing can stop us now. I don't know how. It can be any better.
At Boardwalk Hall, the 2026 Air Force Reserve MAC Championship. Top-seeded Merrimack survived against Marist. They await the winner Tuesday night right here in Atlantic City of this matchup between third-seeded Siena, seventh-seeded Fairfield. Saints 7-1 all-time against the Stags in the MAC Championship, but all 7 of those wins occurred in Albany.
Wow. Where they had the home court and home advantage involving the fans and everywhere else, and so far they've had the advantage shooting the basketball. They've been shooting the blood out of the basketball. 10 of 17 from the floor, 5 of 6 from the three-point line, and 8 assists on those 10 makes so far by Siena. Fairfield's really lucky they're only down by 6 the way Siena's been shooting the basketball.
Eric Mejia completes the three-point play. Benjamin another rebound.
And Folafak had what he wanted. Really shot it too quick and too hard at the glass when he put Rooker Fennig on skates by having the ball and using the bounce in the defensive side and putting him in the lane.
Benjamin calling for it. The mismatch against Shoats. Inside to Benjamin. Tries to make the adjustment underneath. Could not. Rooker Fennig, the offensive rebound. Mejia goes behind the back. Fades away. Oh, that was pretty.
Eric Mejia, a guy who only averages 4.7 points a game, and already has been able to take advantage and score 5 points so far in the first half, using the dribble to get to where he needs to get a deeper shot into the lane.
Leading scorer for Siena is Gavin Doty with 9 points, a perfect 3 of 3 start from the field after he went 3 of 15 yesterday. Shoats a 3 from the corner.
Such a good look by Folafak, the freshman, understanding that you have a smaller person, knowing that that double team is going to have to come, and Shoats able to reward his behavior by getting outside to give him a wide open look.
6:25 to go, first half. Sparks fading away, hit the side of the backboard. It's Mejia that finds it, drives it, back to Sparks. 8 to shoot. Mejia open. Short. Another rebound by Benjamin. Up with the right hand this time. Folafak, good box out for the board.
I thought if Benjamin could have just waited a second, he had guys relocate behind the three-point line to find him wide open.
Henderson had already hit a couple from beyond the arc.
You know what I love about Benjamin? If he does not make a good play, he has wonderful convenient amnesia. He didn't allow himself to stay on the offensive end moping. He got back in the defensive and did a really good job contesting that three-point shot.
Benjamin spins to the baseline. Double team by Shoats. Kick out. 3 off the mark. Turner pulled the trigger and Doty rebounded the miss.
Henderson did such a great job keeping the body on Luka Fennick, who tried to get the offensive board. That allowed his teammate to get that loose rebound and keep that possession from going to Fairfield and keeping that offensive rebound.
Approaching 5 minutes to go, first half. Doty calls for it with 6 to shoot. Shoats on the baseline, goes second side for the pretty finish.
And it was a great use to use the rim as an extra offensive player. By using that reverse, this way the defense could not block that shot. If he stayed strong side, Benjamin might have gotten it. He used the rim as an ally, and it worked out perfectly.
Turner off the dribble for 3. Deuce Turner, a triple here in the first half.
That's a pet move that he loves. When they set that high ball screen, it could be Luka Fennick, it could be Benjamin, but he's so good reading that if you go under the screen, he can get that shot. If you try to trail him around the screen, then he can turn his shoulder and get downhill.
Folafak against Benjamin, 2 of the best freshman bigs in the league. Scrap that. 2 of the best bigs in the league.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Normally, that doesn't happen to Benjamin, where that advantage was Folafak. His ability to just back him down and get to where he had to get to. Pretty finish. And how about that defense taking it away?
Freshman to the cup. Mejia the other way for the Stags. Under 4 to play, first half. Pull up, pop. It's Sparks. Pure from the second, it left his hands.
He knew right away, and I think even the Siena defenders knew. They said, man, he gets to that spot and there's no defense there. That's when you take the ball out of the rim and go the other way, because Sparks has made that one of his pet moves. A really good corner shooter, but outstanding getting into the lane. And now Fairfield changing things up on defense, a little matchup 2-3 zone to try to slow down Siena's shooting.
Siena at 1 point led by 11. It's a difference of 6, closing in on the final minutes of the first half. Shoats has the hot hand, a game-high 13.
And it's so wonderful that you can bring your backup point guard, and now Shoats can move to the 2. Jones was so good because he's lightning quick to find him on the baseline.
Mejia's scoop shot off the mark. It has been a free-flowing first half, just 4 combined fouls called.
Well, when you're shooting the ball that well, or offensive rebounding, the defense can't get in position to try to keep you by maybe having a hard foul here and there.
Siena shooting 58% from the field. That'll increase with that drive to the rim.
And Chris Casey is ape on the sidelines thinking, how are we giving up that kind of positioning and allowing Shoats to have a free run to the rim and nobody got in his way?
Doty joins Shoats in double figures. Mejia, short. Doty collects the rebound.
They understand their principles on defense. They know that Fairfield wants to get inside, get those kind of paint touches, but it seems that when Fairfield's tried to post them other than Benjamin, that really has not worked out. You wonder Chris Casey and your staff will make that kind of adjustment to not go that way again against the Saints defense.
Into Folafak, out to Jones. Fairfield has had 3 at the scorer's table for more than 2 minutes.
And we're under 2 minutes. At this rate, they may not get into the second half.
Sparks trying to create some separation. Wooker-Fennig inside the mismatch. Benjamin lays it home.
And it was smart for Shoats. He probably thought about fouling, but he said, if I didn't get him early, put him on the line, no need to waste the foul and the potential three-point opportunity to kind of get Benjamin going a little bit. So smart by Shoats saying, I was beaten, just take the L and go the other way.
8.7 boards for Benjamin. Shovel to Falafak. Out of bounds, remains with the Saints. When we come back, an extended stretch of basketball. Shoats leading the way, 13 for the Saints, up by 9.
After 5 years of military service, Staff Sergeant Zaragoza is still setting goals.
Come on, Vincent.
But mostly for her son.
You got this.
She was ready for more family time. She was ready for the reserve.
The all-new Bally's Atlantic City has new rooms, new restaurants, and more.
Enjoy a night of fine dining at Park Place Prime, where Jerry Longo's meatballs and martinis.
Then stay in our brand new Bally's Hotel Tower, inspired by the heart and soul of the AC Beach and Boardwalk.
These contemporary and clean rooms are reflective of the bright and soothing coastline.
So book your stay today. Visit Bally'sAC.com.
Plus, don't miss happy hour at Park Place Prime or Phil's Carousel Bar.
Well, coaches talk about winning the 4-minute stretches from media timeout to media timeout, but our last stretch was better than 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So they might have to change their tune a little bit.
And now we have the underappreciated but never duplicated 114 stretch in the first half with Siena leading at 39-30. I was looking at the huddle of Chris Casey and his staff, and they were looking at the defensive end. That whatever adjustments, they didn't talk anything offensive. You could clearly tell that Chris Casey and his staff of Glenn Breaker, Taj Benning, Mac Nizovic, and Matt Scott are looking, okay, what can we do defensively to keep what Siena's been able to do to us? They're 7-10 from the three-point line. They're 15-27 from the field goal at 55%. And on their 15 makes, they have 12 assists and only 4 turnovers in the first half. So I guarantee whatever they're going to say in the locker room, it's going to start with defense first and figure out the offense later.
It's been great speaking with Chris Casey this week as it's knocked out of bounds by Isaac Mankati, who just entered the lineup to give Benjamin a bit of a rest. He talks about basically his non-negotiables being about the attitude and body language and the effort. He finds a lot of the other stuff to be superfluous. Coyle back into the game, misfires from the corner. A bit of a straight shooter. It was fun to see him celebrate with his guys as demonstratively as he did, knowing how serious he is most of the other time.
And you want to see that, and you love to see that for your players because you know your coach is always going to have your back, and he's never going to be afraid to tell you the truth. Turner
misfires. Another offensive rebound for Fairfield. That's number 9.
Isaac Mankati is in the game, the sophomore from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. He's going to give you effort, but he is so good going to the offensive glass. His ability that even when he's blocked out, he does not stay blocked out. That is something that is going to be a really hallmark of his game to be a really good player for Fairfield.
Ryan Zan also into the game off the bench for Fairfield. Williams rises. No. Coyle is fouled.
Yeah, he was. But Mankati had a hold of his leg. It looked like a game of, you know, the little game where you put like the two bodies together, you do the 3-legged race. That's what that looked like underneath the basket. Mankati thought the basketball and the leg of Coyle were one and the same.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
4 off the bench for Fairfield. Siena calls a 30-second timeout, a use it or lose it timeout for the Saints.
You can almost get a 2-for-1 here because the possession now is in favor of Siena. So with 31 seconds, a 1 second difference between the game clock and shot clock at the end of the first half, you could almost get a 2 for 0 here. If you get a good shot on the boards and Fairfield does not get a good enough shot, then you get the ball to start the second half. So a lot of advantages in this final 31 seconds involving the Siena Saints.
Well, it's been the two guys that have led them the entire way, is doing so in the first half. Shoats and Doty combining for 24. Doty a unanimous selection to the All-MAC first team. Meanwhile, Shoats goes back-to-back on the second team.
And both of those gentlemen, they played the entire first half. They've been able to play 19-plus minutes. They combined for 24 points, 9 of 12 shooting from the field. They know what they're going to be about. More than likely, unless it's a blowout, they're out there for 35, 36 minutes. The only time that they're going to get any rest is the under 16, under 12, under 8, under 4 timeouts, and at halftime. And the same thing's going to be watch, rinse, repeat in the second half. But they always lay it on the line for Siena. You never have to worry about a lack of effort from those two, no matter how many minutes they play.
Into the front court. Less than a second difference between game and shot clock. Shoats on the move and a blocking foul. Justice Shoats will shoot two.
Yeah, Butter Williams was just a hair too late because he knew that was going to be a front line drive from the slot to the rim when it came to Shoats. He just got there just a bit too late. Casey and his staff thought he got there in time, but the minute that Shoats was able to get there close, Butter Williams could not get there in time to take that away.
So Shoats and Doty yesterday combined for 30. Prior to these free throws, they've got 24. 6.9 to go. Second free throw here for Shoats.
The difference with this Siena team compared to last night, when they got that 19-point lead against Mount St. Mary's, they got good shots. They just weren't knocking them down. And even Jerry McNamara said, well, that's what happens in a grinded-out game. He was trusting that they would find the elixir to make shots a lot better. And so far, he's been proven to be a prophet, what we've seen happen in the first half.
Seems like Siena's going to look to foul, and so they check out Doty to make sure he doesn't pick up his second, as Siena has 4 fouls to give over the last 6.9 seconds.
Yeah, you go to hack-a-stack strategy. No matter who has the basketball, just start swiping down in their arms so they can't get a good look at the basket.
Jones fouls there along the sideline. 4.9 left.
And was so smart, he let him run a little bit because he knows that he's not going to have Butter Williams outrun him. Jones is a lightning fast, wide receiver speed kind of person. So he let Butter Williams handle the ball just a little bit, stayed step for step with him. Then he got to the half-court line and put a foul on the body.
Just the third foul committed by Siena. They're going to try to run out this clock, essentially, without allowing Fairfield to get a shot attempt. And again, the continuation rule has been a change this year where Fairfield, especially in the final couple of seconds, and maybe we're getting there, will look to get into the act of shooting and draw that foul.
And to your point, Jones was so smart because the minute that he saw that Butter Williams had the ball right around his thigh, that's when he put the foul. He did not want to risk anything to getting the ball to his waist, and then that continuation would have been called against him.
Turner rips through. A look at the horn for 3 is off the rim. Would have counted for Zan. Instead, we head to the locker at 47%. They are elite inside of the arc. And so while Fairfield might have the physicality or the size advantage, the points in the paint because of the way that the Saints get to the rim using the dribble will nullify a bit of that. With Freddie Coleman, David Resnick, Chris Smooth Williams on the sideline. Back here inside of Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. Semi-final Sunday. Shoats off balance, draws the foul, leading all scorers in the first half with 14. Winner of this game is moving on to face top-seeded Merrimack in a couple of days. Championship is set for Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. Merrimack survived Marist, a thrilling game that came down to the final possession.
And I feel so awful along the lines of Perry Kabamba. That wide open layup that he had that would have given Marist the lead. That was the difference in the games that turned out, because that game looked at a couple of times that Merrimack was going to impose their will, and the Red Fox and John Dunn were not having it. To give them a lot of credit in the game that many people thought they were not going to be within 10 points of, they had a chance to win that game and pull the upset here in the MAC tournament.
1 of 2 for Shoats. 11-point advantage for Siena, matching its largest of the night.
It's amazing how Shoats is such a good ball player. Only a 68.6% free throw shooter from the line. So those are the kind of things that you got to be careful not let teams get back into the game by going 1 for 2 from the line.
It's Sparks. He's got 9 points, I beg your pardon, leading the way for Fairfield. Both teams with their starters to begin the second half.
Chris Casey mentioned, the Fairfield coach, that they got to take better shots. You put the ball in Sparks' hands, that's where a better shot is going to happen.
Siena made 7 threes in the first half. There's Doty to the cup. Mulvey cleans it up.
You love when guys know their job description. Mulvey's job description: attack the offensive boards, be a defensive protector in the lane, run a little high post offense. He really carries out his assignments no matter what they ask him to do.
That one nearly banked in.
Yeah, I think Sparks shot that because he was open. That was not the kind of look you would expect, especially that early in the shot clock for Fairfield.
Doty on the back down of Sparks. Benjamin comes to help. Follofac trying to take advantage of Rollins. It's a travel.
Yeah, Folfac was guilty, trying to make a play. I know you got point guard skills, but sometimes good just to hold the ball over your head, wait for cutters to happen, and then use the dribble and have the defense clear out a little bit. Benjamin saw he had his head down dribbling the basketball. He came with that late double team, forcing that turnover.
Sparks open, short. From the corner, it's down to Shoats. Coyle started the scoring for Siena by knocking down a 3. Try to force it inside to Folfac.
And they had what they wanted, David. All he had to do was just wait. If Doty was able to maybe go a little bit away from the corner, Folfac had established position inside against a smaller Williams defender. It would have been, as Shaquille O'Neal likes to say, barbecue chicken, if he could have gone to a better spot and given him the basketball in the better position.
Wooker Fenig turning and getting blocked. Francis Folfac with the rejection. Shoats on the crossover. Fading away. Benjamin rebound number 8. 2 points, 2 rebounds away from his 16th double-double of the season, the most in the MAC. Almost got the points there. Instead, Mulvey rebounds the miss.
It was really good execution on the screen and roll. Just as the basketball did not cooperate with the play design, because you get your 2 best players involved in a 2-man game, and boy, oh boy, it did not work.
Rollins on the reach in, his second.
And if you're Fairfield, you can be quick but not in a hurry. It seems that at times right now they're quickening the clock in their head in terms of the shots taken or when they're taking the shots, how quick they're taking the shots. There's still plenty of time, but it's not going to help you out if you don't realize that, yeah, we can get in our plays quickly, but if we're rushing, that's not going to be a good benefit for us.
Both teams in a bit of a lull here over the last 2+, and that continues with another Siena turnover. Coyle reaching in, gets called for the foul.
Which is something they didn't do a lot of in the first half. They were able to play without fouling on the defensive side. I also think the quick shot taking by Fairfield helped out the defensive effort of Siena. So that's one of the few times where if you're Jerry McNamara, you don't mind that foul. You stop a little fast break this way, stop a little momentum that Fairfield is trying to generate.
What he minds is now, after 4 total turnovers in the first half, Siena has committed 3 in the opening 3+.
I think you had to expect that, because I've always been a big believer, David, that if you have a hot first half shooting, early on the defense makes adjustments, the coach staff makes adjustments to slow down and keep you out of your rhythm. So I'm not surprised we've seen a kind of a slow start shooting the basketball here in the second half by the Saints.
Good denial by Williams. Didn't allow Coyle to receive the pass on the handoff. Into the post to Doty. Spins to the cup, and Doty scoops it home.
He knew the contact was coming. He braced for it, but was able to just go strong to the rim despite the efforts of Benjamin to try to keep that away.
Doty up to 13 points. Wooker Fenig through contact.
He didn't take a shot in the first half, and he's too good of an offensive player with his energy that he can take people off the dribble and step out and knock down a 15-footer. He's too good to not have any shot attempts in the first half. He's trying to remedy that here in the second.
Did have 5 boards and 3 assists. Another rebound for the freshman from Teaneck, New Jersey. High school teammates with his current college teammate in Brandon Benjamin as Sparks knocks it down. Those two both starred at Bergen Catholic and were recruiting priorities of Chris Casey when they were in high school.
I guarantee he was not the only coach that had those two as recruiting priorities, the way that they can play, and they have the ability to play with experience even though they're young players.
Shoats off balance, looking for the foul.
Yeah, I thought that was a good no call. The defense went straight up in the air. He tried to initiate the contact. That's a good no call.
9-point game. Benjamin floats it. Cash. Now down to 7 as the Fairfield bench is imploring their squad to play with some more energy.
Yeah, I think Siena's going to probably get a timeout. I think the minute they get it past half court, Jerry McNamara is going to ask for a timeout.
Jerry McNamara telegraphed it, calling for time as Fairfield makes its run 6 in a row for the Stags in a battle with Siena.
Need a new mattress but confused by all the options? We understand that so many choices can make mattress shopping overwhelming. And our sleep experts have the extensive training, unrivaled know-how, and advanced tools to match you with a perfect mattress. At Mattress Firm's 72-hour sale, save up to 60% on Sealy, plus get 0% interest for 72 months on Tempur-Pedic. So for the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy.
Hello to Sargento 100% natural American cheese. Taste the difference of 100% natural American cheese.
And don't you come back no more.
Sargento, a promise you can taste.
When business slowed, Hank asked Copilot in Excel how to help bring back the $1 slice. Suddenly, Hank says, "You gotta try this place," kind of thing.
All right, thank you.
Hank makes the pizza. Copilot handles the spreadsheets.
Water's running smoothly. The training's slowly. Let's check the inspector.
They'll need a plumber.
Yeah, it's clogged. See my scope video.
My sellers don't want the hassle of the repair.
They'll give you a credit for the repair.
Did we get the tiki bar?
In writing.
Full Dr. Pepper cherry is the best.
No, Rich Dr. Pepper blackberry is the best.
Dr. Pepper and cream soda.
I reckon it's Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream.
Find your flavor.
At Burger King, you're the celebrity. We're just your entourage. And this time, you asked us to hit the sweet spot. The Maine Bourbon Barbecue Whopper is back. It's saucy, crunchy, smoky, and all imagined by you. Try the latest in the Whopper by You series today.
Pollen allergens don't just float around outside. They're also in.
Tonight from Boardwalk Hall, this is Siena and Fairfield. Earlier, it was top-seeded Merrimack against fifth-seeded Marist.
It was an old-school game. Not a lot of three-pointers taken and made. It was inside basketball. So many wonderful plays we saw both ends of the floor. John Dunn and Joe Gallo of Marist and Merrimack, respectively, they coached the daylights out of this game, and a lot of people have that conversation at the end of the game. It looked like it could have been a shot clock violation. It was not called. Marist had one timeout left, tried to get up in time, did not get a shot up. And as it turns out, Merrimack in the MAC championship game Tuesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern time.
Second year in the league, they'll be looking for their first championship. In fact, that side of the bracket, Merrimack and Marist 0 combined MAC championships. Meanwhile, Siena has won it 6 times, Fairfield 3. Last one coming back in 1997. Last championship for Siena back in 2010. Follifac on the bounce, looking for Mulvey, who was knocked out of bounds.
And I love what they did because the double team was coming over from Wuka-Finnick, and Mulvey did a really good job fouling to the rim. If the ball was not kicked out of bounds, that would have been an easy dunk because Follifac did a great job reading the defense along with Mulvey.
Siena by 7. Timeout on the floor.
Picture the university you've been dreaming of. It feels personal. Professors who know your potential and help you reach it. It feels exciting. Opportunities that start right away. It feels inspiring. Friends who challenge you and become family. It feels like purpose, learning to lead with skill and heart. And it feels possible with scholarships that recognize your achievements and open the door to it all. This is where Saints rise. This is Siena University.
After 5 years of military service, Staff Sergeant Zaragoza is still setting goals.
Come on, Vincent.
But mostly for her son.
You got this.
She was ready for more family time. She was ready for the reserve.
Welcome back to Jim Whalen Boardwalk Hall. We've spoken so highly of the freshman, Brandon Declan. In that first half, Declan didn't take any shots. Second half, 3 shots so far. His skill set dictates that he needs to take more shots, be more active. They need to get him touches. Back to you, fellas.
We started at the top of the broadcast telling you that he is the son, as it's a shot clock violation of a couple of Siena basketball alums. Father Craig, class of 98, Bronwyn, class of 2000. Declan's mom, a 2,000-point scorer in college.
Wow. By the way, he shares the same first name as the alter ego, Elvis Costello. Declan McManus, well, he's hoping that his aim will be true in the second half after not pumping it up in the first half, not taking a shot, like Chris said, already taken 3.
Benjamin off the mark.
I think Benjamin, I know he can hit that shot, but I'd rather see him try to take that shot by using the dribble to back up the defense a little jab step. Standing flat-footed, that's not going to be a good recipe for him to try to score some points.
Fairfield has scored 6 in a row after Siena took a 13-point lead. Mulvey fighting for the offensive rebound. Kick ahead Williams. He'll stop the three-point line. The run is now 9 in a row for the Stags. Matt Potter says long 2. Make it 8 straight.
Well, that looks familiar because we saw that in the second half, what he was able to do against St. Petersburg. He was the best offensive player on the floor for Fairfield in that victory.
Doty kicks. Falafak misses at the rim. Got his own rebound. Dumps it off. It's Mulvey with the two-handed flush.
Yeah, they had a power play inside when Benjamin hit the deck, and wonderful big man to big man exchange, getting the offensive rebound and a great flow to go right to the basket.
Back to 7. Sparks denied. Just the 3rd start of the season for Mulvey. Inside Shoats. Wow. What a tough finish.
What a tough pass because he threw Shoats open. Shoats wasn't open the minute he decided to do it, but a perfect lead pass to center to the rim.
Williams drives it and finishes. Tough take for Tony Williams coming off of a career-high-tying 16-point effort in the quarters.
Yeah, he's going to guard Justice Shoats. He's going to get that assigned because Shoats has been able to have his way with anybody else. And Williams may be slight of build, but he's not going to be slight of toughness guarding Justice Shoats here in the second half.
Doty drives it and draws the foul. Gavin Doty to shoot a pair.
Sorry about that. It was so smart by Mulvey to drag the defense, but this was good. Mulvey, like I mentioned, he knows his role. Block shots, and how about that feed?
Some people train for marathons. I train for this. I use my Shields Visa to book travel, hotel stays, and even my signature summer style. Each swipe earns points towards my rewards gift cards to spend on everything you need to get away.
Like sunscreen?
Why, yes. Like sunscreen. Shields Visa. Get the card that gets you.
Someday, their little hands won't be so little anymore. Until then, let's escape together, hand in hand, on a Disney cruise.
No, it's more like a... Stop, everyone stop, time out.
Disney and Pixar's Hoppers, rated PG.
American Idol can change my life, and I'm ready for it.
I love singing. I love getting on the stage.
The excitement. I love the pressure of it.
We're making dreams come true.
Thank you.
American Idol, new Monday on ABC.
With the right team, there's nothing you can't do. Assemble your friends. Assemble your family. Assemble your universe.
How cool is that?
Marvel Assemble.
During the break, they took a look at that Tony Williams make from the outside. On the floor, it was called a 2, but during the break, it's been determined that it was a 3-point field goal.
Well,
so that left foot just shy of the line, and it turns out it was a 9-point spurt by Fairfield.
Well, he's lucky he shoots a size 10, not a size 11, because if it was a size 11, then it would have been a 2-point shot. And you got the sense that he knew, and also Ruka Fennig, that they were lacking offensively, but also making the effort to try to find shots. They have done a much better job at that here in the second half to help the Fairfield offense.
A play like that is always forever going to be known as a Durant.
It
right?
is, yes.
Yeah.
If he had a size 17 and not an 18, maybe Brooklyn Nets would look a lot more different after that.
Doty knocks down a couple at the line. Yesterday, he went 10 of 10 from the charity stripe, including a number of them down the stretch as Siena was able to hold off the defending champs in Mount St. Mary's. And now off the ball, an offensive foul is called against Braden Sparks.
Yeah, and Chris Casey is hot at Mike Evans, who made the call in that situation. He thought the referee called, thinking that he backed into the defender trying to free himself from the baseline, and he was saying, I was getting held, that's why I had to try to extricate myself, and Mike Evans was not having with that explanation.
Williams, the steal. Williams into the open floor for 2.
Not only with the speed, but enough where he had enough distance that he didn't have to slow up and have to try to have the defender go past him. Really good job being a predator in the passing lanes when it comes to Butter Williams.
2-possession game. Ball effect, turns, blocked. Mancotti with the rejection, and then commits the foul.
In the NFL, they call players built like Folefak dancing bears because he's 6'7", 245 pounds, but a big man with ballet feet. The ability after getting the block shot by Mancotti, but his quick twitch ability and his footwork, able to get the basketball back and take it back strong in the defender to reward himself with a trip to the line.
Unanimous selection to the MAC All-Rookie team.
I mean, think about it, in a team like this, he averaged over 11 points a game, 5 rebounds, and also 2.2 assists, 39 blocks, and 29 steals in the regular season. He is a definite star on the making, and maybe he has arrived when it comes to Folefak of the Saints.
And has been asked to do more with the injury to Tasman Goodrick, with the ineligibility of Antonio Chandler. Mulvey has done a nice job to step up into the front court, but it has been anchored by Folefak throughout the entire season.
Yeah, and also pretty good from the free throw line, shooting close to 75%.
Walker Fennig cans the three.
If he can continue to develop that shot, he becomes unguardable in this league. He has shown the willingness lately to take that shot and not just settle for it. Really good job to fly into the middle of the lane when they double team the post.
5-point game as we approach the midway point of the second half. Doty from the outside, got it for three.
I know they have Mulvey being guarded by Sparks, but if you're Walker Fennig, you step out on Doty. That was too much of a clean look. You don't worry about Mulvey beating you on the inside. You worry about that guy beating you on the outside.
A team high, a game high 18 as Doty is perfect from beyond the arc. 3 for 3. Williams cannot answer. Battle for the loose ball. Sparks challenges the big. Mulvey holds his ground. Williams floats it. No.
Mulvey may not have started or played in a lot of games. He has a great understanding in field. He was going to make a shorter player shoot over a taller player, and then good job to track the basketball with his feet in his eyes to keep that possession away from Fairfield in the offensive glass.
Under 9 to play. Siena by 8. Out to Doty, head on 3. Too strong. Coyle tracks down the miss. He'll fire from the outside, and it lips out.
Those are 2 looks you can live with if you're Siena. Your 2 best players, and they're going to get a blocking foul because Doty can't believe that they called that on him as he got in the way of Mancotti. He cannot believe they called that on him and not on Mancotti.
Jerry McNamara might think about challenging that last foul. We'll take a look at it.
Yeah, he got it his way. That's a good call. That's the proper call because Gavin Doty restricting and impeding the progress of Isaiah Mancotti trying to make a front rim run. The fans can say challenge that. That'd be a waste of a timeout. So Jerry McNamara and his staff, I wouldn't do that if I were them.
Just the second against Doty. Mejia off the bench. Could not finish in traffic, and here comes Doty.
And now the Siena fans can relax. The ball didn't lie. The ball did not lie at all. It was definitely the right call. Better defense to keep that away.
Ryan Zan into the game for Fairfield. On the baseline, Shoats is heard from again. Justice Shoats, a game-high 19.
That's become a hot move we've seen in the NBA, where you start and go really breakneck speed to the baseline and use that pull-up. You see a lot of professional scorers use that to great effect.
A traveling violation. Inside of 8 minutes to play, Siena by 10. Trying to get back to the MAC final for the first time in nearly a decade. Doty and Shoats leading the way for the Saints.
At Shields, We're runners, just like you. We understand the dedication it takes to rise before the sun. Our experts are trained to share their knowledge and help you push limits. Whatever your goals may be, we'll find your perfect fit from training to race day. The road ahead is calling. Let's run together. Shields, come run with us.
We've done it, Mabel. We put this into this.
When you connect with your inner animal, there's only one thing to do.
We party.
How did he get a little crown?
That's your question?
From Disney and Pixar, it's time to answer the call of the wild. Disney and Pixar's Hoppers. Rated PG. Now playing only in theaters.
The weight. The want. The will.
The winner of this matchup goes on to WrestleMania.
The Windy City. Stream Elimination Chamber. Available now on the ESPN app with the ESPN Unlimited plan.
It's an amazing game. This thriller. With deadly efficiency. What a finish. It's a very big argument that he is the best player on the planet.
American Idol can change my life, and I'm ready for it.
I love singing, love getting on the stage.
The excitement.
The defending champs knocked out in the semifinals by Siena, looking for their 7th championship. Their last title came back in 2020. It was awarded to them as the highest remaining seed when the tournament was canceled because of COVID. Last time they won on the floor was back in 2010. Meanwhile, Fairfield looking for their 4th championship, their last title back in '97. They've made 6 finals since their last championship win.
It's amazing when you look at the original 6 when it comes to the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. Army, Fairfield, Fordham, Iona, Manhattan, and St. Peter's were the original 6. And now look how this conference has continued to grow with 13 members as a part of the MAC. And who knows what the future is going to look like, but I can tell you this, when it comes to future college basketball in this conference, it's only going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. A lot of terrific players and a lot of terrific coaches and programs.
And that top 5 list were the 4 remaining teams plus these Saints. 45th playing of the MAC championship. Three to shoot. Shoats lets it rip.
Polifak is so good, not only with the dribble, but keeping his head up. He knows exactly where Justice Shoats was going to be, in a perfect pass 20 feet across the lane to find him for a wide open 3.
Saints by 13, matching its largest advantage of the night. Off the dribble, Mejia to the cup. Ripped away by Polifak.
If Siena still had a football team and I was the football coach, he'd be my tight end. Imagine that dude running down the seam with his hands when it comes to Polifak and his ability to run. Such a good player that has such great awareness of knowing how to get the basketball and what to do with it.
6:30 left. Polifak on the other end. Soft touch in the paint.
I love the call from Jerry McNamara and his staff. After he was so good, and that's going to be a good call. It's going to be a kicking foul against Justice Shoats, but I love that call. Your big man did such a great work getting the basketball one in, so give him a little touch. Give the little big man some love on the inside. Going right at another terrific freshman, Brandon Benjamin. He says, you're a big, strong guy. I'm a bigger, stronger guy. Backed him down into the lane, and like you mentioned, David, a pretty soft touch over 2 people to make that finish count.
10 straight for the Saints. 8 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists for the freshman from Maryland.
Got to give Benjamin a touch here.
Wooker Fennig, more aggressive in the second half, will have a chance at a 3-point play.
His ability to use the dribble I don't care if it's a big man guarding him, a small man guarding him. You don't need a lot of dribbles, but just know one good dribble there, you get the length, you get the extension, you get to the rim, and you're able to put a foul on Mulvey, who did a good job coming over. But if you're Wuka-Finnick, that ability to use that kind of dribble, he doesn't take too many dribbles, but he knows exactly how to use the bounce to get to the spot where he can make it an effective play offensively.
Six to go.
Yeah, they're going to get it on Wuka-Finnick, and he doesn't think he did, but I thought he grabbed the arm of Folefak just a little bit, almost getting that foul. I know Mr. Fairfield doesn't like it in the stands, but I thought that was the proper call. I thought he got a little bit of the flesh of Folefak getting that foul.
Doty fading away.
Yeah, there you go. I love that little high-low action with the two freshmen. Wuka-Finnick comes up the alley, and then Benjamin did a really good job moving the offensive player further up the lane where they could throw it over the top. This is really well done, and Mulvey had to give up that foul on the inside when it comes to Siena now picking up his third personal foul. But that was a really good play design by Casey and the staff to get the ball in deep to Benjamin.
Kick out Williams. Shoats on the closeout. Redirects to Benjamin. In the post. Benjamin spinning off the side of the rim.
Yeah, he shot that despite the traffic because he hadn't seen a touch in the lane in a little bit. So usually when that happens, big men wonder they're going to see the basketball again. I think that's why Benjamin took that shot, because he wasn't open.
Shoats with 22. Doty with 18. Here is Shoats. The mismatch, fall effect. Off the rim, soft touch and down.
Yeah, Braden Sparks got caught behind him, and now Fairfield's going to take a timeout to try to settle this down. And how about the understanding and awareness where the basketball should go? We've seen that after they made that run by Fairfield, and Siena's being able to push it back up to 14 by understanding where the ball had to go.
Timeout, Stags. A full timeout taken by Chris Casey, who has an earful for Mike Evans walking into the huddle. And the Saints are down to just 7 scholarship players. And what's that line? We have all we need.
We all we got, we all we need. We all we got, we all we need. And that's been a perfect mantra for a Siena team that has not made any excuses, whether it's been injuries or whatever has happened with this basketball team. That's not something that was going to be a culture under Jerry McNamara, because when he got here, they were a 4-win team. They've been able to win 34 games over the last couple of seasons, and I'll never forget last year. They played a lot of freshmen. They had to play 6 and 7 guys to deal with injuries, and a lot of coaches saying, yeah, you better get them now because in another couple of years they're going to be tough. It didn't even take a couple of years. Here they are, 450 away from playing for a MAC championship against Merrimack.
Still a lot of time left. Here's the caveat, but there was discussion about the Siena roster coming into this MAC championship. Antonio Chandler officially deemed ineligible by the NCAA. However, this Siena team, as it's constituted, as it is displaying the players that have played yesterday and today and potentially tomorrow, again, still a lot left, the MAC has deemed this team eligible. Unequivocally, there's no ambiguity. They are eligible to win the MAC championship and advance to the NCAA tournament if they are to win today and win tomorrow.
Well, Jerry McNamara even talked about in the press conference after they won last night against Mount St. Mary's. He said that was the hardest thing to tell his team, that Chandler may not be available. Then it got to the point that, guys, we don't know if he's going to be back, but we got to go with what we have, and we'll figure it out. But he says he feels bad for everybody, especially Chandler. He said the person is a lot better than the player, and that's who he feels the worst for.
Siena dropped the game at Fairfield as Sparks floats at home right after getting the news initially about Chandler's status. Each team won on their home floor during the regular season. Their most recent meeting happened late in February. 4:20 to go.
And that can't be an easy situation for anybody involved. I don't care if it's Siena, NCAA, Mac, and Mr. Chandler. Nobody wanted to see that end result when it's all said and done.
Shot clock is down to 5. Doty fading away. Doty up with it again. It's a shot clock violation.
Fairfield did a really good job getting Siena out of sorts in that possession by extending their full court pressure, doubling the basketball. Good job, good presentation by Howlands to take that shot away when Doty thought he's going to look on the little fadeaway in the lane.
Sparks the pump fake. Now it's Williams, drives the gap. Braden Sparks challenging Shoats. Off the foot of Justice Shoats. Sparks with 13 to lead the way for Fairfield. Under 4 to go. Siena by 12. Final timeout.
Some make it their main career. Some give a weekend a month. All we need are the moments. In the Air Force, how you serve is more important than how much you serve. You always get more out than what you put in. Full-time, part-time, in or out of uniform. How many moments can you give?
The all-new Bally's Atlantic City has new rooms, new restaurants, and more.
Enjoy a night of fine dining at Park Place Prime, where Jerry Longo's meatballs and martinis.
Then stay in our brand-new Bally's Hotel Tower, inspired by the heart and soul of the AC Beach and Boardwalk.
These contemporary and clean rooms are reflective of the bright and soothing coastline.
So book your stay today. Visit Bally'sAC.com.
Plus, don't miss happy hour at Park Place Prime or Phil's Carousel Bar.
The 2026 MAC Men's Basketball Championship is presented by the Air Force Reserve. Stay local, serve global, and the Air Force Reserve. Visit airforce.com. And Bally's Atlantic City, the official fan hotel of the MAC.
Jerry McNamara knows a thing or two about March Magic. Won a national championship as a freshman at Syracuse back in 2003. As a senior, leading the Orange to a Big East Tournament championship. That was the year that the Orange would not have won 10 bleeping games without GMAC.
10, no question. And believe me, I don't think you can understate that enough, that without him on that basketball team, who knows what they would have done or not done in that situation.
Offensive rebound for Fairfield. Sparks against Doty. Backdoor, Wooker-Fenig. And a whistle. It's a foul and one.
Yeah, Folafak got him on the arm. And how about that cut along the baseline, because Sparks was being taken away. Terrific by Doty, and then he gets on the backside. Folafak, ball you man. He was able to see the ball but did not see his man fly right behind him, and Sparks with a pretty feed to find Wooker-Fenig with a beautiful cut on the baseline.
Scoreless in the first half. Now 11 points in the second.
That's only the third free throw that Fairfield has taken. They're 3 for 3, and I thought with a team that's as physical as they are against Siena, they have not been able to put the kind of fouls and get to the free throw line to take advantage.
Siena has rode their starters in the second half, including Francis Folafek. Diagonally to Coyle. Shoats run off the line. Pull-up is off the mark. Folafek secures the rebound and a reset for the Saints.
Yeah, he was surrounded by 3 different guys, and it didn't matter. Now Sparks giving up the foul on the outside, and now that puts Siena into the 1-and-1. But Folafek's ability with his strong hands and his quick feet and the ability to not make the wrong kind of play when you're in the wrong kind of situation. Really well done to keep his wits about him and keep the ball for the Saints.
Siena has made the final in 9 previous times. 5-4 all-time in championship games. They have that 6th title back in 2020, as we detailed earlier. Justice Shoats stepping up to the free throw line. Makes the front end of a 1-and-1.
You want your point guards, especially a high-level point guard, mid-major, major. You want them to shoot at least 77% from the free throw line. Justice Shoats, we mentioned, shooting less than 69%. But these are the kind of moments that you say to yourself, we're going to be a lot better than the percentage going into this free throw.
Splits a pair. 23 for Shoats. Under 3 to play in the MAC semifinals. Williams to the rim. Benjamin an offensive rebound, swiped away by Shoats. And then Benjamin, losing his balance, commits the foul in the backcourt.
And how good was that by Shoats to dig out the basketball? Did the offensive rebound happen by Benjamin? He was trying to take Mobley on the inside, but Shoats did a really good job digging in if he couldn't get the ball the first time. And how about that? You bring it down to the little people always win. Usually Benjamin is so good keeping the ball chest high above his head, but he's trying to get a power dribble, and Justice Shoats had the power hands to take it away.
Shoats once again making the front end of a 1-and-1. Difference of 11. Fairfield scored the game's first basket. Coyle answered with a 3, part of a personal 5-0 spurt. Siena has led since. 2:40 left. Williams on the baseline. Fall effect, the rejection on the three-point line. Doty takes it away. Doty into the open floor, and his layup is off the rim short.
Most coaches would have had you back it out, but Jerry McNamara said, no, attack the rim. This was so good. Butter Williams staying in bounds. How about full effect? Great anticipation and great length to take it away and then flying up the other way. We mentioned Doty and Coyle and guys like that play about 35, 36 minutes. You could not tell the way they exploded going to the other end and getting a chance to go to the line.
3 players played 37 or more minutes yesterday for Siena. All 5 starters 30-plus. Shoats, Doty, and Shoats and Doty 37 minutes tonight. Full effect 33. Those guards really haven't left the floor. Doty came off the floor with seconds remaining in the first half just to preserve foul trouble. Wookerfenig leans in, and a whistle.
Yeah, I wonder who they got that foul on. They may have gotten on full effect. Yeah, they did get it on him. He thought he got all leather up top after Wookerfenig did a really good job there. And maybe on the follow-through, it looked like he got the wrist. I think that is the proper call. Yeah, he got him on the wrist a little bit on the follow-through. Normally, you'll say, I got the ball first, but that doesn't mean you can escape if you hit him on the follow-through.
12 second-half points for Wookerfenig. Now 13 as he remains perfect at the line.
Good job, the pressure by Fairfield forcing a tough inbound.
Into the front court to Doty.
And it's pretty good. You got 5 guys who know what to do and handle the basketball, whether it's the bigs, and now they have to give up a foul because they're running out of time and running out of space. And that's the 10th team foul on Fairfield, so now it's 2 shots from now on. But they're so good with their placement of putting people, because Jerry McNamara knows that anybody that has the ball in their hands, he can trust is going to be really good with the basketball and not have a foolish turnover.
Year 2 for Jerry McNamara. Just 14 wins last year, lost in the first round as the 9th seed to 8th seeded Rider. 3rd seed this time with 13 league victories. Fought off the defending champ, the 6th seed Mount St. Mary's in the quarterfinals yesterday. 2 minutes away from a trip to Tuesday's championship game against top-seeded Merrimack. Wide right. Doty secures the rebounds, his 7th.
Yeah, even Chris Casey looked at his senior and said, what was that? That's not the play that we designed in the huddle.
Doty is fouled.
And now the foul fest begins, but I'm sure Jerry McNamara is probably thinking, we're usually a pretty good free throw shooting team. Lord knows he's a great free throw shooter at Syracuse. And they're 11 of 18 from the free throw line, and we've seen a lot of empty trips or missing the front end of 1-and-1s or missing only going 1 for 2. You can't have those opportunities go begging you when you try to extend the lead and time and space is on your side.
Another make for Doty. 5 of 6 at the stripe. 15 of 16 overall at the MAC championship. 1:43 left. 12-point Siena lead. Sparks off balance. Mulvey. Tough rebounds.
And how smart was he? He gets the basketball. You see Benjamin creating the foul. Mulvey had it and knew to get it out of his hands because he didn't want anybody fouling him. So he had to worry about going to the free throw line, not being a good free throw shooter. They were really efficient even when Fairfield made that run to cut that double-digit lead and make it a 2-possession game. Then they were so efficient at both ends of the floor to keep that lead from getting under 6.
Shoats with 13 yesterday, 24 tonight. He and Doty got going early and really set the tone. That backcourt, both of them earning all MAC selections. Doty on the first, Shoats for the second straight year on the second. It's a cliche because it's true. Guard play wins this time of year.
Yeah, if you don't have good guard play, you're not going to be around long. If you have exceptional guard play, you have a chance to make a deep run no matter where you're playing or who you're playing.
Siena on the verge of 2 wins in 2 days, and we'll have a day off before Tuesday's final. Back on prime time, 9 o'clock Tuesday, ESPN2. Shoats to the cup, denied. Benjamin the rejection, not giving up here with a minute to go. Wooker-Fenig, too strong.
Yeah, I wonder how much Chris Casey will say. He's going to say trap and try to get a foul, but at a certain point, he's going to just call things off.
Mulvey pitches it back to Doty, and Wooker-Fenig gives the foul.
Doty looked at Mulvey saying, you were literally 2 feet from the basket at 7 feet. Why would you not dunk the basketball? You're never going to have a golden opportunity like that again, playing the basketball like that. But Doty was surprised the ball came his way from Mulvey, who's always looking for the open man apparently, even in garbage time.
Mulvey had a poster yesterday and a little something to say about it as well. I think he just needed a defender, right? If there's
Maybe
no defender,
that's
he's just...
He was going for the credit of the defender and not just the wide open.
Yeah.
Oh, of course you can dunk. You're 7 feet. No one was guarding you. Of course you'll be able to dunk.
Well, the Siena faithful have a day to rally and get down to Atlantic City from Albany. They will play for a MAC championship on the floor for the first time since 2017. Saints just passing it around with under 20 seconds to go.
And we mentioned how efficient they had to play at both ends of the floor. We also said Fairfield had to do a better job of shooting from the three-point line. They were not able to do that. Their defense was exquisite, taking away those kind of shots. But I just thought the ability to share the basketball was terrific by Siena. We mentioned in the first half, they made 15 shots, had 12 assists. Low turnover usage. They didn't have a lot of those turnovers even early on. But their ability to find the open man and see that open man was a big, big effect how efficient they were offensively here in the second half.
Siena has made 9 threes. They are tough to beat if they are going to make that many triples.
Yeah, because they're 12th in 3 points in terms of three-pointers made in the regular season, 6.1. You get 3 above that number, that's going to make things so much easier offensively for Siena.
It's been a long time coming for this proud program. Their last championship back in 2010, the last of 3 in a row under Fran McCaffrey. 15 ticks to go. A near wire-to-wire effort as Williams knocks down the triple. The Saints are marching on to Tuesday's final. Siena takes down Fairfield in the MAC semifinal.
And you're going to have two coaches that are very energetic, very passionate.